when people do the right thing, we tend to always get the best of results that will serve humanity, you know, for the better. It's an honor being here again this beautiful morning. I'm sure you're not used to hearing my voice on a day like this on this dial, but guess what? It's a special interview session, and I will be, by God's grace, anchoring the show and then playing notes to some very great men. May I let you know that some of them actually came from the very capital city of Nigeria. I'm talking about Abuja. And I have a brother and a very good friend also in the house. And we'll be sharing thoughts regarding some things that bother on the open contracting, especially in Ekiti State. Let's start like this. World over, government spend around 9 point something trillion dollars on a yearly basis through contracts, and yet contracting info is often unavailable, especially for public consumption and scrutiny. But guess what? Just a couple of years ago, precisely last year, May, the Ekiti State government decided to enlist the services of a particular organization to help handle this, what you could call a little bit technical aspect of open contracting. And I'm talking about PPDC. And guess what? They are in the building today, and we'll be having a great time together. Let's first and foremost introduce my guys to you. I've got Kunle Adelowo. Is actually the software developer for PPDC. Kunle, you're welcome on the show today.
Thank you so much. It's a delight to be here. Ekiti State has been, a state to work with, and it's been so exciting that this wonderful initiative has been brought to the state. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for coming too. We're so happy to have you. And also, like I told you, a big brother and a friend of to the house, Mr. Abiodun, is a civil society advisor to the governor in Ekiti State. Everyone, you're welcome today.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, it's one of the program of the executive governor of the state, Dr. Kaudi Fahmi, to ensure that our business environment is friendly and then for investors to come. And part of the thing, when you talk about making business environment friendly, you must to be transparent, you must to be accountable, and you must give people voice. These are the indicators of some of the indicators to show that your state is business environment friendly, and that's why we are bringing this initiative on board.
Okay. Hopefully, we still hope to have Mr. Kunle Adelowo Martins, if he joins us on the show, is the programs manager at the new Initiative for Social Development. Let's cut to the chase this morning. Now, first and foremost, I would like to know, let's start from you, Kunle. What is it that the word OCDS, the acronym OCDS, what does it really mean? Let's start from there.
Okay, OCDS means Open Contracting Data Standard. And just to explain to our laymen out there, like you said, the world government spend about $9.5 trillion every year on procurement, and these spendings are supposed to translate to infrastructure, roads, education, quality healthcare facilities. But it is sad that the government spending are not being scrutinized. It's not open for the citizens to participate in it. So, and that's why the OCDS is here, and the open contracting itself. So open contracting really is about publishing procurement information so that citizens can engage with it and make the contributions and make the contracting process more friendly, transparent, and even to solve problems. So there are a lot of whole benefits that comes with open contracting, but open contracting is just really about publishing procurement information, publishing public contracts so that citizens can engage with it and know what the government is spending taxpayers' money on.
Okay, your organization has been saddled with this responsibility. Would you want to tell us what exactly you're doing, as it affects that? PPDC?
Yes.
Okay.
So PPDC, Public and Private Development Center, we are a civil society organization actually, and our focus is to increase citizens' participation in governance, and we do this through the open contracting movement. And what we do specifically is to provide technical assistance in the implementation of such initiatives. So we provide technical assistance in partnership with the state governments in order to publish this procurement information so that citizens can engage with it.
Okay, Mr. Abiodun, I'll be coming to you now, and the question I'm going to ask you is a little bit, tricky, so you just may have to work with that. When such open contracting becomes, what individuals have access to, how do individuals that are not that learned, how do they analyze all of these things? Because I was going through a couple of things that I saw on the net myself, and I told myself that if I was finding it very hard to analyze all of those things that have happened, then how do people who probably are not even as educated as myself, how do they really analyze all of those things?
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, it's something that the state is already working with our partners here to train some advocates, that's civil society, and this civil society in different sector. For instance, they are categorized into different sector: water, education, works, health, in the area of the 5 pillar of Mr. Governor. And these people are now to go to the grassroots,
Okay.
to now educate people, and also based on the information on the web, in that portal that has been designed, they'll take it to community for community people to have a say. It's like bringing voice to the voiceless. For instance, if we are constructing school in your community, definitely the community members will be aware that a school is going on.
Okay.
And those people will now go to that community based on the information they have on the portal
Okay.
to say community AYZ, there is an hospital going on here. What is your view? What can you tell us? Then they will now collate the information, the feedback from the community back to what has been placed in the portal.
Okay.
For instance, if it's going to be a 6-room classroom that
Okay.
has been said, and is going to have like a step ties aluminium roofing, and getting there, the people said, well, what we have here is 4, and then we only have plain zinc and not a step style.
Okay.
Then from there, people can collate the report and give it back to the portal. From seeing the portal, the people managing the portal will know that something is wrong, so they can quickly go back there to say, to look at the contractor to say, this is not the specification of what we asked you to do, because we've gotten feedback from the community through an advocate. That is the advocate that has been trained.
That has been trained.
Yes.
And
So
research.
it's a way to say that, to bring governance to the people, for people to have a say in governance, to be respected, and apart from that, to bring transparency and accountability.
I was coming to that. Why do you think it's essential for government to implement this? And you just said something like that.
Yes, because like you just said, that trillions of dollars has been expended on procurement, and
on a yearly basis.
on a yearly
I think you
basis,
should just
on a
emphasize
yearly
that,
basis,
yeah.
and in terms of translation into development, it's a little to show for it, and that's to tell you because everybody believe government money is everybody money, and I'm not concerned. But now we want to say the people are the people, the watchdog, the whistleblower. When the information is there that this is what we are giving to your community, you must have a say to say, because you are going to be the receiving end. For instance, these trillions of dollars that have been spent and nothing show for it, the people are the one that are the receiving end. Because if you give them a very good hospital with well-equipped facilities,
Okay.
it is the people that will enjoy it.
Okay.
So now, the people that will enjoy it must also have a say in what goes on. And how can they have a say until when information is released to them about procurement, that we are going to do this, we are going to do that? Then the advocate that is trained will now liaise with the people in the community, and that's what we call transparency, to say so amount have been budgeted in the budget, and procurement has taken place with the so contractor, and this is the specification. Then people now brings that initiative to monitor and evaluate whether what the contractor has done is equivalent to the money that has been released.
I like the fact that you actually talked about that. I'm sorry, Kunle, I'm still going to come to you, but I seem to be interested in Mr. Abiodun at this particular point in time. I mean, you've been really, focusing your attention on transparency.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean that all the financial transactions that are involved, that this open contracting data system would open it up to the people?
Exactly, because even when you are in United States, you know what is going on in Ekiti. But like you said, for the rural people who don't have access to internet facility, and that's why we have been able to bridge the gap by training civil society advocates, stakeholders who are on sectorial basis, and based on what they have received in the portal, in the formation, if the money is going, let me give you an example. If the money is going to be paid 3 tranche, it is expected that the first tranche has been given, the report will be there. The first tranche will cover A, B, C, D. Then they will go about maybe for a period of 3 months. They will go there after 3 months or before the ending of 3 months to look at it. Maybe A, B, C, D has been done. If not, if it is only A, B that is done, they report back to the portal. And then those people in the procurement take a step to do an oversight. To go and check it that what is happening, the contractor, we have given you this money, you are supposed to get to this rate before you get another one. If you don't do it up to this point, you are not getting another. But if the information is there, if people are not guiding it, if people are not trained to be a whistleblower, then government may have a little, because if we talk about government, we are all government. The people who are the technocrat, at times they have their own challenges in terms of giving a lot of resources to monitor all over the state or all over the country. So people, the community people will play their own role, the advocate will play their own role to ensure that every transaction, every procurement brings in the desirable goals and objectives.
Thank you, Mr. Abiodun. I'm coming to you now, Kunle, and the question is just simple. How do you take us through the process of implementation of all of these things that you have talked about, and the steps that have been taken thus far?
Okay, so the most important step is usually the partnership. So we've been partnering with the Bureau for Public Procurement in Ekiti State, PPP. So they have been furnishing us with all the support that we need in implementing this portal, the open contracting portal. So the first thing we usually do is just to first of all see what is on ground. That's see the current systems, how procurement information is being stored, and then we try to gather procurement data. So what we do is we send to different ministries and agencies so that they gather the procurement data. But this is just for the initial furnishing of the portal. So we use that to develop the portal and put some procurement information on the portal. Then after this, we then deploy, that's make it available online. And then we train the staff of the BPP and some other MDAs on how to use that portal to publish information.
So you are saying that you have been saddled with the responsibility of developing the portal that will contain all this information. Now, another thing I'm going to ask you, the information you're talking about, does it cover the information that or the projects that took place before this administration? Or is it just within, the purview of this administration?
Well, it covers both.
So
both projects that have been covered by the previous administration, the projects that are ongoing at the moment. So the whole essence is complete openness to make sure, and you can see that we even reap more benefits by opening up everything so that we can begin to identify problems and fixing them. So it's really both procurement information of the past and present administration.
I know, Mr. Abiodun, that you were in town, during the past administration, and you can probably talk better. You think what he has said that is the truth? Is that your position?
That's it. Because when you talk about transparency, is not to indict anybody, is to show that learning process. What are the things that happened in the past? What are the lessons drawn from the past that can aid us or that can help us navigate some challenges in the present future? So it's not aimed to run any administration down, but it's to pick some lesson, from the past that we will use from the present to get what we want to get in the future. So it's not to indict any government,
any
administration.
Okay, I think I'll just come to Kunle right away, and this one has to do with your organization. Now, we know that you have, is Ekiti State the first in Southwest?
Yes,
yes.
State is the first in Southwest.
Like, how many states are on these projects at the moment?
Okay, the first state we had this kind of engagement is Kaduna State.
Okay.
So Kaduna State were the first states.
Okay.
And then we've also been in states, we're in the talks with states like Abia State,
Okay.
Enugu State. Yes, and these are some of the states that have come on board. Kogi State also has come on board to this initiative, but Ekiti State has really moved ahead of most of the other states, because we are practically almost in the launching stage.
Wow.
So and then it has really been the commitment from the BPP has really been good, and they're really pushing for this initiative to really come on.
Sorry, this really might not all go well with you, but I'm going to ask you: is your organization the sole handler of this kind of project in Nigeria?
Okay, yes, for open contracting, right? So we are the pioneer organization for this kind of initiative. So we started with we advocated for this open contracting at the federal level. That's Budeshi, for those of you that understand Hausa, it means open it. So this was our first open contracting tool, and it was used to advocate to the federal government on open contracting. And it was adopted by the president, and it was something that they were willing to adopt. So we seen as the first people to bring this initiative. So we have been tasked with this mandate to provide technical assistance.
So you how do you sell this to other states that probably have not bought into these, that really they really might want to give this a consideration?
Okay, like Mr. Abiodun said earlier, this improving the economic environment of the state is so important, and there's this World Bank initiative known as the SEFTAS, that's State Fiscal Transparency and Accountability Scheme.
Okay.
So this initiative is really about states putting in place open governance reforms, and then it helps bring development funding into the state. So this is some of the catch that we use in selling this to many of the states, because they can see that it's actually beneficial to them, and then it can attract global funding from the World Bank and other development agencies.
Okay, I've been having a chat with Mr. Abiodun. He is the civil society advisor to the governor of Ekiti State, and also Kunle Adelowo, permit me for mispronouncing that, is the software developer for PPDC, that is Public-Private Development Center. I'm going to open the port for you. I'm sure that people might actually have one or two questions to ask you regarding that. But before we do that, how about if we just listen to this musical one more time, and I'll be back. This is Cobhams alongside Bears. They call this one Do the Right Thing. Okay, you're welcome back, and this is Wajoakim Manos on a special interview session with my dudes, my great individuals. One from Abuja, you need to see his face, glowing with all the beauties you can ever think of, and then Mr. Abiodun. This guy's a big man. Anyways, let's talk about something. While I was playing that song, Mr. Abiodun was telling me something, and I would just put a question to him straight away. Can any government be said to be completely transparent in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you very much. Because there are when you talk about transparency and openness, there are indicators.
Okay.
So if you look at the indicators, then there is no indicator that does not have its own benefit.
Okay.
Then when you look at what you are going to benefit in terms of your government being open and accountable to people, is far, far, far better than what you are going to lose. Like, for instance, Ekiti State vision is to be open, is to be accountable to people. And for what we are saying here, when you are open and you are accountable, it brings investor into the state, because investor will look at your policy framework and look at what you have put in place in terms of accountability, in terms of openness. Then they can now say Ekiti state or that ever state is business friendly, because in business everybody wants to make profit, and if you don't open to people, if you are not open, if you are not accountable, then how can they make profit? No. So they will have to see your seriousness in terms of your policy framework, and this is part of the policy framework we are talking about. Like for instance, again, Ekiti state happens to be the first state among the states in Southwest to sign into OGP, Open Government Partnership. It's true that government must be open. It must not be done in the secret. And people, when you carry people along, because when you carry people along in your government, then they give you support. But when they don't have information, they give it their own interpretation, which may be inimical to your own government. Okay. But when there's nothing for you to hide, then they follow you up.
Okay, I like the way you said this, but there's something that I really want. Okay, I'm sure Kunle wants to.
So just to add to that, you asked, can any government be really transparent?
Yeah.
Like, so I think it's to the if a government that really understands the benefits of the transparency and see what is in it for that government to actually see beyond the initial stages and see what they stand to benefit, then yes, they can, because there's a whole lot of benefit, as Mr. Abiodun pointed out. So it makes your business environment more friendly. So it means that contractors, the right contractors are getting the right jobs, and people have more trust in the government, and then it makes the whole governance easy, and then it makes the people have trust in the government. So it depends to the extent of the understanding of that particular government to the benefits of transparency.
Okay, let's make it a completely interactive session for everyone. If you're out there and you want to join this discussion, all you need to do is call the studio line 0814-441-9455. I'll call that much more gently now. 0814-441-9455. Be my guest, and you can ask my guest in the studio, ask them questions regarding open contracting data system, standards rather, that we've been talking about since. I'm sure we have a caller, and let's quickly hear what they have to say. Good morning to you. Good morning. What's your name, sir? Comrade Niola, where are you calling from? What have you to say, sir?
Good morning, sir. Right, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. As a stranger. Oh. Thank you so much, Comrade Eniola. I'm sure you have a response, to that. But let's see if we can still pick another call so that you could just answer those questions at the same time. 0814-441-9455. 0814-441-9455. That's the number to dial to be a part of this discussion. Okay, but before we get that call, maybe I should allow Mr. Abiodun to give a retort to that.
Yeah, I think the man is talking about a very good initiative that the contractors needs to be known. There's something we call due diligence.
Okay.
Before any contractor can be awarded a contract, there is going to be some department that will carry out due diligence on that person to know how their integrity and the capacity they have, all this will be put in place. But what we are saying is that when contract has been awarded,
that's what the discussion is about.
Exactly. That we put it into that portal for everybody to assess that we are doing specific A, B, C, D in a particular community, and this is the amount, this is the specification, this is how the money will be paid in tranches, and all this information will be there. And that's what we are talking about, so that people can know that this is a project going on at this particular location. And people have been trained that will, on sectorial basis, that will go to that community and meet with the people to say, this is what they are doing, how do you see it? Is it in the right track or off track? And information collected will now be given back to the portal for an oversight and then what we call validation.
Thank you so much. I'm sure Kunle also has something to say.
Okay, to also add to that, part of this initiative is in the tendering process when contractors are bidding for projects. So information about the whole bidding process is still going to be published. Meaning that any contractor or any process that does not follow due diligence is open to the public for scrutiny. So it means that contractors, indigenous contractors, have a fairer chance of winning more projects at this point.
Thank you so much, Kunle and Abiodun, for coming on the show today. Any final words from you both as we go on the show today? Let's start from Kunle.
Okay, so I'm so happy for Ekiti State, and it is my charge to everyone out there that they should participate in governance. We shouldn't take governance lightly, and we should try and follow the government and get involved in contracting.
Thank you so much for coming.
It is an opportunity that the government has given to the people, and I want people to use it very well so that they can be part of governance and develop it.
Thank you guys for coming on the show, and thanks to everyone who took time to listen to what we had to offer today. Let's do this some other time. Until then, my name is Waju Akim Onos, and I bid you a very good day.